This is a tribute for a former Denso worker that died. Goodness, he's been dead longer than what I thought, over 2 years. September of 2022. His name was David Adams. David Adams, best way to put it, he was a prodigy. He was gifted at whatever task he was assigned to do. He was literally one of the best technicians we ever had for the body lines. They also used him to, I think, help retrofit machines, implement new procedures or what have you. Then he was moved to I guess a plant 701. Worked there for a while, and back. It was long about 2021. They temporarily bought David Adams, back to the BA lines. I think we may have been short-handed at the time, and they brought David Adams back. They just basically borrowed him for some time until we could get some more help. And David highly commended me for my work, even though at the time I was going through a big rough patch, but very cordial, very polite. And do you know what David did for me? He even bought me a meal ticket to the cafeteria in a further effort to, commend me for my duties. My memory for David goes way back. First met him when I was moved to the BA line back in 2011. And David was a type, didn't meet a stranger. He took right off with, being cordial, conversing. And David was always right off helpful with what I, needed assistance with. And we would give each other a hard time in a good way. We would joke around about his, at the time, him and his wife had two Rottweiler and German Shepherd mix. Apparently them dogs were very jubilant, more than what he could handle. I would just, kind of joke around with him about that. Well, he would talk about his chickens, tell me stories about his chickens, and how his wife was devoted to their pet cats. And I also remember he ended up splurging on a Cub Cadet lawn tractor. And if my comprehension's right, I think he even had a motorcycle. Yeah, let's see if, It would have been helped if I would have enlarged that from the get-go. But David Adams, with his hospitality, his dedication, his kindness, this man it's definitely worth doing a tribute for. I ran into David's wife the other day. She recognized me, and me and her conversed, and the subject of David came up. We mentioned how much we both really miss David, and how he went downhill very fast. I think it was cancer he had, but sounded like from his wife he went downhill. It was like one day he was just fine. He was only 54 when he died. It was like one day he was just fine. Next thing we knew, I heard stories of him being on hospice and then dead. It's just very heartbreaking. I mean, such a good man wasted. But yeah, this all sounds like, yeah, David. He enjoyed cooking and watching westerns, farming. Well, we know he had chickens, gardening. Well, we do know he had that Cub Cadet lawn tractor, remodeling, woodworking, riding horses, being out on the boat. That's all David's, critique there. He was just all around, a good person. See if I can scroll down further. Yep, that is the David Adams. If you were at Denzel long enough, and if you were around David, he wasn't a hard one to miss. Long beard, long ponytail, the Denzel prodigy. He was never a hard one to get acquainted with or miss. After talking to his wife the other day, thought, well, I've already done some tribute videos of associates and other folks in this life that have passed on, and why not to do a tribute for David also? So there you go.